open source, as we knew, it is dead. And it was assassinated by the exact same corporation that swore to protect it. Welcome to the biggest bait and switch in the history of tech. Over the last few years, we have watched that masterclass incorporate parasitism, and they used our own infrastructure to pull it off. Here is the exact playbook of the corporate open source scam. Step 1. Release a promising tool and slap a shiny open source label on it. Step 2. Let millions of sysadmins, developers and engineers adopt it. Let them integrate it deeply into their enterprise stacks. Let the community act as your free global quality assurance team. We write your documentation, we fix your bugs, we build your ecosystem, and we do it for absolutely $0. Then comes step 3, the rug pull. Once your software becomes the absolute unavoidable industry standard, you change the rules. You alter the licensing, you lock the source code behind a corporate paywall, or you invest bullshit terms like source available to mask the reality. They didn't defeat proprietary software, they just hijacked a decade of free community labor to build their own monopoly. If you want to see exactly when the timeline shifts, look at the patient zero, Red Hat, or more accurately IBM. For over a decade, CentOS was the undisputed backbone of the internet. It was the rock-solid, free downstream clone of Red Hat Enterprise Linux. As sysadmins, we deployed it everywhere. We trusted, but once IBM took the wheel, they executed CentOS in broad daylight. They killed the stable release and replaced it with CentOS Stream, which is corporate speak for turning production servers into a beta testing ground for RHEL. But that was just a warm-up. The ultimate betrayal came when they took the RHEL source code fundamentally built on the shoulders of the global Linux community, and locked it behind a customer portal paywall. Their goal was simple: kill downstream rebuilds like Rocky Linux and Alma Linux. It was a massive middle finger to the GPL philosophy. They used the open source community to build a billion-dollar empire, and once they reached the top, they didn't just burn a bridge, they charged you a subscription fee to look at the ashes. But that was just the beginning. Once IBM proved you could get away from it, the infection spread straight to the application layer. Enter the source available scam, and the dirtiest example of this is the Redis disaster. For over a decade, Redis was the undisputed king of caching. If you deployed a web stack, you used Redis. It was under the permissive BSD license. It was free. It was fast, and the community built a massive ecosystem around it. Then, the corporate suite realized they couldn't squeeze enough money out of the major cloud providers. So, what did they do? They ripped up the open source social contract. They switched to proprietary restrictive licenses, SSPL and RSAL, basically proprietary software wearing an open source trench coat. They didn't innovate. They weaponized their market share. They held the internet's caching infrastructure hostage, forcing the entire industry into a panic and making us scramble to migrate to community forks like Valkey. They built their entire valuation on our free adoption, and then they locked the gates. And if you think this corporate greed only targets enterprise data center, just look at what Canonical is doing to Ubuntu. They are slowly turning the most popular Linux distribution into an Apple-style walled garden. It starts with snap packages. Canonical push snap heavily, but here is the dirty secret. The backend of the Snap store is completely closed source and controlled exclusively by them. They even hijack the standard package manager. If you type a basic apt install, the common software Ubuntu overrides your command behind your back and forces their proprietary Snap version onto your system instead. You are no longer the root of your own machine, Canonical is. And then they committed the ultimate sysadmin sacrilege. They started injecting literally text advertisement into the command line. You run an apt upgrade to patch your server, and Canonical spits out ads in your terminal output, begging you to sign up for their paid Ubuntu Pro subscription. They turned the Linux terminal, our safe workspace, into a cheap billboard. So, what's the solution? It's time to stop being just users and go back to being the actual owners of our systems. While the corporation build their wallet card and licensing paywalls, the true community is still out there. Distribution like Debian and Arch still maintain the original spirit of free software. No terminal ads, no telemetry, no boardroom backdoor decisions. And then there is the ultimate choice, Gentoo. It is difficult, yes. Does it take time? Absolutely. But it is the only way to guarantee that every single bit of your hardware is there because you decided, you compile it for you. It is the ultimate act of technical rebellion. And I want to be clear, you don't have to face this transition alone. If you decide to take this path and find yourself stuck in dependency hell or sharing at a portage error you can't figure out, drop a comment down below. And I'm more than happy to help anyone who has the guts to actually learn how their machine works. Control isn't a gift that corporation will ever hand back to you. Control is something you have to take back yourself. Subscribe to the channel if you want to stay free, stay updated, and most importantly, stay in charge of your own silicon.